I'd like to take a moment to thank my channel members for your continued support. Thank you, and consider joining today for added perks and exclusive content. Hello and welcome, I'm Bert the Stormtrooper, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Beast Wars RHINOX, and I love this toy. Originally released in 1996, this was a deluxe class figure, and he retails for approximately $10. And I absolutely love RHINOX because rhinos are one of my absolute favorite animals on the planet. I just love the way they look. So yeah, RHINOX here, pretty cool little rhino dude. He's approximately 5.5 inches long, about 2.5 inches tall here in rhino, and he's detailed mostly in different shades of brown. You got some browns and tans, you got some darker brown down here on the feet with a little lighter highlights for the little nails right there, and then it fades into kind of like a tan here on his midsection, which fades right back again into that darker brown here towards the top. Very, very cool. You got some red eyes right there on the front and a gold little horn right there, just kind of going all the way around so you can see all the details on RHINOX. This dude is a shell former. You're gonna see that when we get into transformation for this guy. Yeah, he's just a big he's just a robot hiding in this big shell right here. He kind of gets crazy, but we'll see that here in just a second. In terms of posability, really not a whole lot we can do here. We can move the legs around a little bit. It's really more for transformation than anything else. It doesn't really serve a purpose unless he's well, I just broke him apart. But I was going to attempt to make the joke here. Let me try and put that back together. Unless you want RHINOX doing push-ups, you can do that. So you can have him doing a push-up pose. That's a thing that you can do with him. Front legs can move around a little bit, but you expose the robot arms if you do that. And again, doesn't really serve much of a purpose unless he's kind of doing that, kind of like that pounce like puppies tend to do. Again, not very realistic. I'm just kind of fooling around with him at this point. The mouth can open and close as well. So you can open it. I mean, you can open it all the way. Of course, that's going to reveal the robot head. So you don't want to do that. You can open and close it to a degree until it doesn't look realistic anymore. And that's really going to be about it. Couple of comparisons. Now, this guy did get a 10th anniversary reissue, which made him a little more cartoon accurate. And we have him here as well. We're going to be looking at both of these figures during this review. So there he is next to the 10th anniversary version. And then we've also got him right here next to this was the Thrilling 30 RHINOX. So you can see what these guys look like together. And yeah, he got quite the size upgrade. And I always have trouble posing this one. Love this rhino. This is such a realistic looking rhino. That is such a cool looking rhino right there. So you can see what those guys look like together. And then finally, here he is with the more current Kingdom RHINOX. So you can see what these guys look like together. To transform RHINOX into robot mode, we're going to start right back here on the back. We're just going to take his shell and split it in half. We'll just take that whole thing, split it in half, and right there you're going to see the tail is going to fall off. So the tail was pegged in right here. I'm going to take this out. This is going to become his little sword, scimitar, melee weapon here of sorts in a moment. So just take that, set it off to the side. And while we're in here, in the shells, we're going to go ahead and reach back here. Take this little spinning disc out. This is pegged in right there in the center. So you just kind of work that out. Come on. Work that out of there. Set that off to the side. And then over here on the sides, you're going to see that these are stored in there. They're pegged in right there. So we're going to take these out as well. Set those off to the side. Those are all going to be weapons for him later. Take the legs here. Straighten these out and rotate them 180 degrees. Go around to the other side. Flip down the toes. And then flip out the heels. That's his legs pretty much all done, and then just kind of work his skirts out of the way there. Take the belly of the beast here, move the camera up some. Take the little belly of the beast here, flip this down, and that's going to reveal more of his weapons. This is the spinning gimmick for his chain gun. So just pop that out, set that off to the side. While we're here, go ahead and unpeg the arms. So the arms, let me see if I can show this. There's a little peg right there on the arm that's pegged into that hole on the inside of the rhino leg right there. Right, so you can just unpeg those, straighten out the arms, kind of get them out of the way there. So unpeg that, straighten out the arm, just kind of start working that out. Now, if you look at the side of the Rhino head right here where the eyes are out, where the eyes are at, this piece here is going to rotate. So go ahead and rotate these down. And there's a little hole right there. And there's a very small soft peg down there. So it's just going to softly peg into place. It's really more of a, you'll see it when it's lined up than feel it, really. But there you go. You line those up right there. Bring the jaw all the way down to reveal his head. Come around the back. Bring the Rhino head on this double hinge here all the way down. Get them nice and straightened out. And again, with the skirts, you can do pretty much whatever you want or whatever you need to get them out of the way. And there is RHINOX in his robot mode. And here in robot mode, he stands approximately 5.5 inches tall. Now, you may be looking at this going, well, that doesn't look like RHINOX's face at all. Again, this is part of that first wave, or at least the first couple of waves of the Beast Wars figures that had that battle mask gimmick. So RHINOX here is no exception. He does have his battle mask. Taking a closer look at that so you can see what that looks like. Now, this battle mask does split in half. And you can split this open, and you can see RHINOX's face inside, and that looks a little more accurate to what we had in the cartoon. Granted, now we have these big wings right here on the side. Now, typically for my display, what I do is I just pop these are just friction pegged on here, so I just pop these off whenever I'm displaying him, so that it's just showing his cartoon head. Just be careful not to lose them. I usually put them like in a little Ziploc bag with my other parts. But there you go. There's his head. Articulation-wise, the head can rotate side to side. The arms can rotate forward and backwards all the way around. The shoulders can also go in and out. There is a ball joint at the elbow, so you can bend the elbow and rotate it some as well. The legs, the articulation is there, but it's hindered because of all these panels. So the hips are on ball joints, again, forward, backwards, in and out. Rotation, there is a rotation at the thigh. No, there is not a rotation at the thigh. There's a rotation at the knee as well as a bend at the knee. And that's about it. So he would be capable of some cool poses if he wasn't hindered by all this kibble and all this panels that are sticking out. The ones on the arm, really, they're not that bad. And again, the ones on the head here, you can take these off. And then the ones on the arms, those are actually kind of accurate because he did have the Rhino arms on the side of his robot arms. It's these big giant panels back here, this big skirt, you really don't know what to do with. Sometimes I try to, kind of bring it up halfway and I'll tab it in like this. Not that it helps with articulation any, but it kind of gives him a smaller profile. At least when he's on the shelf, it makes him look a little better. So, again, you just got to kind of play with him. I think the instructions just had you kind of have him there like he had some kind of a big skirt or something. So, which is not terrible. It's just not cartoon accurate. But there you go. You just kind of play around with him and make him look any way you want him to look. Going all the way around on him, I really do like the details on him. I love the transitions from the tans into the browns with all of the gold highlights here for his robot parts, his armors, along with all of the green bits showing here for the head and the arms and whatnot. And just kind of going all the way around so you can see what he looks like. There you go. Now, let's see, comparisons first, or what? Let's do comparisons first. So for comparison, here he is with the 10th anniversary version, so you can see what these guys look like together. And again, it's the same exact toy, just with a more cartoon accurate paint job. So the colors on the Rhino were meant to look a little more like the ones on the show, and just different shades of the gold and the greens and whatnot. And he does have the gold details on his head right there, so if the mask doesn't get in the way. So he's got that gold crest and that gold chin, just like he did in the cartoon. So there's what the two of them look like together. Here he is now with the Thrilling 30 version. So you can see what these guys look like together. Quite larger than our original version right there. Really, really nice figure. If you haven't checked this one out, check it out. This is a really, really nice figure. And for a little more up-to-date comparison, here he is with the current Kingdom RHINOX, which as of the time of this recording is still on shelves. I just saw this guy on shelves this morning. So you can still go out and get this guy right now as of the time of this recording. So there you go. That's what the three of them, or the four of them, look like together. Let's get into weapons. So we've got the little scimitar, sword, melee. I'm sure you guys are going to go down and correct me if anybody's watching this channel anymore. Somebody will correct me on that. So there's the sword right there. And that's what that looks like. Now, let's look at the little chain gun piece right here. So on the chain gun, you've got 2 holes here on this disc spinning part. So you can just plug those in right there. And you can turn these any way you want. I got them facing completely out right now. Typically what I do is I do this with them. It's typically what I do. You put them any way you'd like, right? And then you go to the little spin part here. The black peg, that's where you're going to put the disc on. And then the little green peg is what he's going to hold it with. And you've got this little black lever right here. So when you press on the lever, push the lever, ring lever. There you go. So that's what it does, which is really neat. It's a really, really cool little chain gun gimmick. However, unfortunately, this is the part that should be facing forward. It should be something like this. And it doesn't do that because of where the peg is at. When you put it there, it looks like that instead, which is completely wrong. But there you go. You can still use the little spinning gimmick right there. So yeah, that's RHINOX right there. Cool figure. I mean, by no means is this like a blow your mind figure, right? This figure, he's very shell former. He's got a lot of kibble. He's difficult to pose, and he's not exactly cartoon accurate. So this is not one of those great figures that come along once in a while that just absolutely blow your mind. But this has all the nostalgia for me because I was such a fan of the Beast Wars show. And I absolutely love having the entire lineup of original Beast Wars figures up on the shelf. They just look so good together. And if you're collecting Beast Wars, this is a must-have figure. And I think that about does it for the Transformers Beast Wars RHINOX. What did you think of this figure? Let me know down in the comments. Give me some thumbs up. Subscribe, hit that bell icon so you're notified when I upload a new video. I've got a donate button up there. I also offer channel memberships. If you feel inclined to do either one of those, I would greatly appreciate it. Please share with your friends if you like what you see, and I'll talk to you next time.